Good, thank you. I'm going to hand over briefly to Jack Barton and Xavier Goldie from the AURIN project to give us an indication of the sort of online analyses that you can do, and they're going to focus in, as an example, in metropolitan Adelaide.
Thanks, Bob. Yes, we're the Urban Data and E-Research team looking after the outreach and training. We've put together a few little demonstrations to show you how the portal can be used in a live real-time environment. I'll let Xavier start this one.
Cool. Hello. So what we wanted to look at first of all was a really relevant topic, which is the availability of affordable housing in Australia. So we decided to focus on the greater Adelaide area. Using the APM data, we were able to determine that within the year of 2013, there were 22,000 properties sold. In Adelaide, an affordable property for a person at the 40th percentile, 30% of their income, works out at about 245,000 properties. So our next map shows us that there were about 1,600 properties sold in Adelaide within that price range, or price range and lower. So those are properties that are affordable for a person in the 40th percentile of income. That's just the property data that we sourced from the APM. Now what we wanted to look at was how many properties were actually sold by suburb. So rather than looking at point data from the APM, we were able to use AURIN to actually narrow that down and aggregate it to a suburb. So we can see there are a couple of suburbs there in the north that have a large number of properties sold that are affordable. But if we wanted to look at the percentage of that as a percentage of the total properties sold, the next map shows that. And we can see again that the percentage of properties sold in the north of Adelaide gets up to 90% in terms of their affordability, or being in the affordable price range. So that's really useful to look at where these affordable properties are sold. And the next thing we wanted to do is actually look at the kinds of households that actually live there. So some of the other data that's available in AURIN is OECD data on income and income inequality. And here is a map of household stress by suburb across Adelaide, and this is the percentage of households that don't have access to $2,000 in the instance of an emergency, which is one of the international measures of financial stress. That kind of data is available through AURIN. And using the join components of AURIN, the tools that allow us to merge data sets together, we were able to look at the relationship between affordable housing and the percentage of affordable housing and the number of households that are actually experiencing household stress. And we can see that in those northern suburbs, there's a very strong positive relationship between the percentage of households that are affordable and also the percentage of households that are actually experiencing severe financial stress. And those are just some of the myriad 100 tools that are available in the AURIN portal.
Good, thank you.
Okay, so we've identified an area in northern Adelaide as being affordable, but also possibly having some issues with socioeconomic disadvantage. It's very far away from the centre of the city, and so first of all we'll try to find out exactly what's there. So we can bring up the mesh blocks and the land use, and so we can see there's a lot of parkland along the arterial roads. There's some industrial sites, lots of residential, good schools, and you know, we can. These are from the mesh blocks from ABS, so they've loaded with population counts, with dwelling counts. We can use this as a base for further analysis. We can bring up the next layer. This is a journey to work by car. So we can see that to one edge, we've got a lot of people that are travelling to work in the car. In this example, hypothetically, we might have a choice between two different bus routes. We might say, well, okay, we want to catch a lot of mixed, varied land use and go through the arterial core of the suburb, or we might want to go through, meander through a residential area. So we want to base this decision with some evidence and some figures. We've generated some walkability catchment clouds, 400 metres from these bus stops. And this tool has been one of our most popular tools, the walkability tool. This has shown you the Z score, the score of each of these clusters around the bus stops in terms of its connectivity, its land use mix, and also the density of people that it's actually picking up. So you can see the redder ones are scoring below average. I don't think we'd take the route to the left. Along the residential corridor, we've got a good score of greens and blues according to the key, where it's catching a good level of density, land use mix, and also of street connectivity. Xavier, if you just hover above one of the blue ones, we can see the breakdown of that data there, and there's the score, so we can drill further into that and see what's influencing the score of that. So this is a good, quick little demonstration of how we might make a decision based on the evidence of the underlying data.
Good. Thank you. And all that is being done directly online. So that's sort of an indication of how quick and so on this analysis can be.